These are cute though, right? My
No, I
first
really
flat
love
ever.
them.
Steve Madden. I just have a big bubble blister.
Yeah, do you? Pound leathers I've ever had, or that don't give me blisters like that, or the Cezanne and the Ghani. You need the red.
I ordered the silver Ghani, and
that
I got
back?
a pair of long jean shorts. A lot of them were giving tight.
Why?
I don't know.
Because Bermudas are back in.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to Honey, We're Home. I'm Caroline Crawford Patterson.
I'm Nicole Smellegrino.
And we hope that you enjoyed our rant about what shoes to buy.
We're continuing the conversation of fashion. No, I'm just kidding. This whole episode isn't going to be about
No, but the shoes that you ordered came in, and they hurt, but
we
they're really
did.
cute.
I'm wearing two of the items that I aforementioned on last week's episode. I'm wearing right now, so if you're watching this on Spotify, you will see I look like a big cherry, and I'm doing a drop
cherry.
waist.
You look really cute.
My first drop waist moment. Thank you so much. Show to you.
You look really, really cute. I'm not really sure. I'm giving a little Hannah Montana.
Yeah. You're giving Eras Tour, Country Girl, Miley Cyrus, Nashville. Like, you should be in Nashville.
I really just wanted to wear my red cowboy boots this week.
So this is where you do have an eye for fashion, because if you gave me a closet and said red cowboy boots, love them by the way, and this yellow and purple top, never would I ever grab
to do that
the
together.
two of them, but it works so well.
You like it?
Yeah.
I could definitely stand to wear a different bra with this, but this is actually a nightgown, so I just don't think that that's possible.
This is why I swear we need to launch like a styling in your closet series.
Yeah, those are fun.
Because I would never be like nightgown.
Honey, we're in our closets.
Yeah.
Wait,
like
that's
those,
cute.
I like me, and I'm sure a lot of other women would see a red cowboy boot and be like, you have to wear that with a cream white, maybe a black moment.
Yeah.
Which you can.
And it looks really good. But you can wear with color too.
But this is great.
I'm going to put on a pink dress later and keep the red cowboy boots on. Ooh. It's like girly.
You brought a change?
Yeah. Maybe I won't change. These boots would look good with your dress too.
Yeah. Can I wear them maybe? They look so comfy.
Yeah.
Where are they from?
They're Freebird, which great shoe brand for boots. Like they're like real cowboy boots, but they're really good quality.
I have a pair of like not good black cowboy boots that I wore to F1 last year and got them all dusty.
I believe in good cowboy boots the way I believe in good jeans.
So should I get a pair of cowboy boots?
Yeah, I think investing in cowboy boots is smart. Like I got my first pair of cowboy boots in high school, and I still wear them. They're Fries. And I like waited. I used to get a pair of boots every Christmas. Like that's what I used to want.
That's a good thing to ask
I waited
for.
until they were like on clearance, and I got them, and I still wear them. And it's just like cheap cowboy boots look cheap, and the designs on them, you can tell, like the toast, like the stitching. So if you're gonna do something for a costume, like sure.
Yeah, I wasn't ready to make the investment into a good pair because I'm still very like, do I do a cowboy boot? However, the reason I think I should is because A, you look fire with them. B, every season
I feel like you would be a great cowboy boot and jean shorts girl. With your new long jean shorts. I mean, you don't have to get like Paris, Texas boots. You know what I mean? Like just get like, again, like I said, like there are actual brands that are like good quality that are not like the brand that you're getting marketed as like the luxury triple the price brand.
Fry, I feel like
everybody knows
been around.
So I have some news. Oh my God, no, I'm not pregnant.
If you told me that you were pregnant on the podcast, we would no
actually
be
fight
friends. And same with you.
I did take a pregnancy test the other day though, but I just have to take them every now and then because I get really scared. Like I actually was projectile vomiting on Friday, and I was like, all I had was drinks and sushi. What would cause your body to reject drinks and sushi? And I was like, a baby. So I had to.
Why were you?
It was obviously negative. I still have no idea. I have no idea. I think there might have been some like
upper though.
No,
There's people that are like some of my friends. Just whether it's alcohol induced, whether it's just life induced.
I was the girl that like didn't throw up at all between the ages of like 4 and 25.
I am that girl.
Yeah, I've only whatever like hormonal stuff, etc., and then allergies. So the consensus was like something probably had cross contamination.
Oh, okay.
But the news is there was a naked man in my basement yesterday in my building.
How do you know?
We saw him. We ran into him taking out the trash.
Butt naked?
Butt naked.
Like you saw a penis?
Yeah, I saw his ween.
What? Wait. Was it like a man who lived there?
Do you want to know the story?
Yeah.
Oh, no, he didn't. He lives on the streets.
Oh.
It was
How'd he get
sadly...
in? That's New York.
That's New York. Okay.
That's why you need
So
to move
John comes home and we're like, our chicken is not de-thawed. My fault. Didn't take it out. Let's walk to Sweet Green and get dinner. Before we leave, I'm like, let's do something responsible and take out the trash. I like to take the trash out in the front of the building, go out the steps, turn to the right. It's trash not reserved for our building. Like, I'll give John that much. Like, we're not supposed to put it there, but I don't want to walk through the basement level out to the back. Just feels like a hassle. John does do that. So he's like, no, let's just go to the back. I'm like, whatever. I follow him down the stairs. We hear a noise. John's in front of me. We turn the corner. This guy pops out. He's standing on black trash bags, butt naked. And he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then John's like, whoa. And I'm like, ah! And so he just starts saying, like, don't call the boys on me. He's like, don't call the cops on me. There's like stuff all around him. He's like, I'm doing something for my boy or something is like what he said. And he like pointed somewhere. And John's like, I did not cross the corner. Like, was he pointing at a person, at somebody's door? Scary. Like, we had all these theories. We landed on something. It's like really, really nasty. And John's just like, you're good, bro. And he's like, leave the trash. I'll take the trash out. We're like, no, it's okay. I said, like, you're good, bro. I turned around and I just kept walking out. Because, like, he is standing straight nudity we live in, like, a walk-up brownstone. So, like, it's not, like, people live on the basement floor. He's standing in between two people's apartment doors. Like, it's not like
okay. It's not like it's like a
ground level unit.
Yeah, like where civilians come.
So like, yes. So like, like you have like the first floor is really the second floor. Like it's just the ground floor. There are 3 or 4 apartment units down there. So if those
people who lived down there walked out, they would have seen this man.
Absolutely. I mean, if they had looked through their peepholes, they would have seen him.
This is crazy.
So I just like keep walking out and I'm like, oh my God. And he's like low-key walking towards John. He's like, don't call the boys on me. And John's like, no, you got it, bro. Like, you got it. You're fine. He's like,
I would have been like, the boys are on their way.
He's like, this is so he's like, he's swinging. Like I'm like,
this
is
traumatizing. Nobody wants to see a man's penis unwarranted.
No, but he's in our building. So we're like, how did he get in here? And I said, did you hear somebody buzz 6 units at a time when we locked our door and we were coming down? We have a buzz system.
Okay.
And there are only like 12 units in our entire building.
Yeah.
So we heard people buzzing and it had to be him and someone just like let him in.
Right.
And John's like, do you think he had pants on or like took them off? And I'm like, John, the garbage bag was his pants. 7 p.m. The garbage bags were his pants.
A couple thoughts here. One, I would have called the cops. Like, what do you do in a situation?
So we got Sweet Green, and we talked about it the whole time. I was like thinking about it. I was like processing it. I was like, if he comes is he like going to the restroom? What is he doing? And then John was like, he had a lighter and a banana. And then I did some Googling and I found out he probably was doing something really like salacious with the banana.
Like, remember how when we were in high school, we used to like smoke out of fruit?
Yes. Like I know that's like a thing. So like, I know that's what I initially thought, but we think it was like something grosser with the banana peel.
Yeah, something sexual.
Yeah, sexual.
With a banana peel?
No, just, you guys, I don't want to, just Google it. There's a Men's Health article that reports on this Reddit thread about this.
I hate this.
Disgusting.
Men are...
So then we're like, what if I was by myself? And I, of course, being the actual twat that I am, was like, I wouldn't be by myself because I take the trash out the front.
This is why men... Okay. No.
Yeah.
No.
Men
need to take the trash out, and here's why.
Yeah, I don't take the trash out.
I do sometimes.
I was like, John, I was like, he would have approached me. Like, obviously, if he was literally about to do something sexual, and he's in our building, our private building. Like, he got in there. Like, he's in a locked area outside of people's apartments doing this. Like, he could easily just go up to the 5th floor. Like, and obviously, like, if he's doing this, he's going to tell his friend that, like, they can do it. And then you just have this thing.
Yeah.
And so by the end of the conversation, we were like, we have to call the police and management, just because, like, it needs to be made aware, because obviously,
management should be, this is get the superintendent, or what is it?
The superintendent lives on that floor, which is so wild.
He needs to be aware.
So we think, because a while ago, there was a notice that said NYPD, who I live on the street with a precinct, is surveilling this building. I thought it's because I think there's some like some activity going on like the third floor. You know, like I have a theory about third floor people and what they're doing. So I thought that's what the notice was about. Now I'm thinking the notice was about stuff like this, because maybe this has been a meeting spot for people. And by the time we got back from getting Sweet Green, the police had already arrested him.
Good.
We didn't call. We never called, though.
We don't need nudity in our building.
No, we never called. And we were about to. And they were like already outside with him.
This is something I think most people don't have to encounter. Again, suburban privilege.
No, this would be things that people move out of New York for. So I was trying not to make a big deal out of it so that John wouldn't be like, got to go.
This is enough to send me to the West.
Yeah, it was really
this is enough to send.
Yeah, it was extremely unpleasant. And John was like, "I've never seen somebody naked," and that was like not my first time having that encounter of seeing a male's parts like in public,
unwarranted, unasked. Men will just flash you.
Yeah, you have to have New York is the
first time I got flashed a penis by a man unasked.
Are we allowed to say that?
What, penis?
Yeah.
What? Are you kidding?
Okay.
Yes. What is the other word? A dick?
I don't know. I've just been
the
calling
first
it like a
time
ween.
ever was when I was in preschool, and my friend, who was also in preschool with me, I will never forget. He was like, it was this kid named Matt, and he was like, "I'll show you mine if you show me yours." And I, being the little conniving girly that I was like, okay. And we're sitting in preschool class, and he showed me his, and then I was like, I'm not doing it. And I just was like, nope, didn't uphold my end. Anyways,
did you really want to see it?
I mean, I was in pre-K. I was probably just curious, but still, I don't know. Nicole started at a young age, so you never. But point of the story is, men, keep your dick in your pants.
Literally.
And second, suburban privilege.
Yeah.
And third, so like suburbia, you don't have
John's like, you don't seem as traumatized as me. And I'm like,
it's the city. Welcome.
I'm like, no, I was like, unfortunately, I don't have the luxury of being traumatized in this situation. I have to think about the fact of like, how did he get in? How do we prevent it? What was he possibly doing? Do you think other people do this? Am I going to open my door one day on the 5th floor and someone's going to be standing outside of it? This is why I lock my windows, etc.
Yeah, like this is why we lock everything. Did I tell you about the time? This happened recently, like probably a month and a half ago. I was out at some event or something. Mike was home with Louie. And Hoboken, we think, is a little sanctuary. Nothing bad can happen, right? Wrong. There was somebody came into our apartment at like, it was like 11 p.m. Did Mike tell you? Or
right, but don't you think that it was like maybe someone that had the wrong apartment?
Yeah. Okay. I told you. It could have either been that somebody just like intruded and he heard the door open and Mike was like, hello, and like couldn't see the front door from where he was sitting. And then all of a sudden it closed. So like the person who entered came out, and we think either it was a mistake, which I have done before. I've done it before too. The floor above ours instead of ours.
I go below
and opened the door. Yeah. Or they're looking for empty apartments to rob. Point of the story is suburban privilege. Let's drink every time I say that, okay? But also, here's what I'm thinking running through my mind during this whole story. Is we're at the point where we are planning families, kids. Yeah. What if you had a bebe?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not good.
You don't want your baby around that.
No. I mean, it's... Yeah. I mean, it's really an issue of like security. Like people... I don't know what to say to this. It's like you can put up as many notices as you want. It's like, don't buzz in people that you don't know. But then when I say, who is it? UPS is like, it's effing UPS. Like, they're so mad at you. Like, just get a system where there's a video camera. Like, there are so many other buildings that have that. Invest in your security. These buildings, like, don't want to do that. And it's like, how bad does the situation have to be? Like, there was another recent situation that was like drug related in the building. And it's like, we live on such a safe street in historically speaking, such a safe building.
Yeah.
Next to the precinct. Like, it really just shouldn't be happening. And that's why when we got back, we were like, we actually do need to call the police. Like,
yeah.
Just
this is reminding me, I don't know why, because it's not really related, but sort of. I saw on TikTok yesterday, this girl had this whole series of roommate from hell horror story.
Oh, God.
And it's giving city living. Like, she's living in New York City. And she was like, this is why you never sign up to live in a sublease apartment with a random person.
Yeah, why did they do that in the first place?
Well, I mean, some people are just in a pinch. Like, she was like, I ended up leaving school and was looking for a fast place to live and found this deal. And this roommate that she was living with and moved in with was so controlling, so psychotic, would not let her use anything. She had filmed footage of her like screaming at her, wouldn't let her put a lock on her door, all of this stuff. And I was just like, oh my God, thank God I live with my husband.
Yeah.
Like, imagine.
That's true.
Like, I know there's probably listeners out there who are like single and live with roommates or live alone and whatnot.
I feel like the older you get, the harder it probably gets.
Yeah, like if Mike and I, God forbid, we're suddenly not together, knock on some wood, I would have to live alone. I don't think I could do roommate living again.
Yeah, I don't think that's normal though.
The psycho roommate, I know. It's like,
well, even just like after, like, say you went from living with a guy to breaking up if like you were in your like 30s,
you don't
I feel
really
like
go.
typically live alone after that.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not like going to live with a girl after.
I guess you could in New York.
You probably have to in New York because it's so expensive to breathe the air.
Literally.
But well, that's I'm sorry that happened.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is that the first time that this ever happened to me, the guy was sitting next to me on the subway and started like doing things. Off. Yeah, to me. And he was looking me dead in the eye, and I was in college. And I just like was so scared.
Yeah, this is true.
I was so scared.
That's
so I was like,
to
you know what?
90% of women.
Yeah. It really has. Like, I love New York, don't get me wrong, but like living in New York is a very different beast. I understand when people say you either love it or you hate it, because if there was an iota of me that didn't like have such a big love for New York, these things would push you out.
Yes.
They're beyond uncomfortable.
This is why city parents deserve another award, because you're schlepping and you're dealing with nudity around your children. Like, I would
terrible.
I can't.
Okay, so we have a mailbag episode today. Mm-hmm. Nikki is gonna read the first one, and these are really like, it's like work related, work friends. You know,
for the girlies, for the everyday working gal.
Yeah. You wanna take it away?
Which we know a lot of you out there are. Yes. Okay. So literally, whenever I get onto this podcast microphone, everybody in my life decides to try to call me. Allie,
do not disturb.
No, I need
that happened to me one time when we were in here and I couldn't focus.
Yeah, no. I just got a horrible heartburn from the 3 lattes I've had today. Okay.
Do you need to throw up?
No, like my chest is.
Do you need to burp, perhaps?
No. I'd let you know. Okay. This person says, what do we owe our friends? I'm going through a situation I was hoping to get your take on. I've become extremely close with my coworkers, specifically 5 other girls. We're all around the same age and have been at the job between 1 to 2 years. We recently heard through the grapevine that the company may not be doing the best and are all unhappy with our current situation. We've been sharing job information with one another and being open about our respective job searches. I applied for a particular job, and when I got an interview, I shared the news with my 5 friends. A couple days after the interviews about the position, one of my friends texted me about the application and how I filled out certain parts of it. It rubbed me the wrong way that she didn't even ask me if I was comfortable with her applying to the same job before I'd even heard back yet, and didn't preface the convo with a simple, hey, I just wanted to let you know I'm applying for X job. In group discussions about where we've been looking, she's been the only one who is very vague and seems to be withholding information. It just feels off that she's collecting information without contributing any and then acting on it behind our backs. I should mention that in our field, Openings are scarce, and oftentimes there are 1 to 2 openings per company at any given time. If you were in a similar situation, how would you handle it? Sincerely, friends turned frenemies?
Okay.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts?
I have questions, and I think that this is like to be determined based on like what the person is. I think it ultimately, my biggest thought is you have to know who your friends are and accept them for like what it is. Like, you know what their flaws are, and you either say, okay, like it's going to be really difficult for me to have that friendship, or you just accept it and you know this about them. And you like have the freedom to choose.
Right. Like, the first thing I was thinking about this girl is either the girl she's referring to that's being kind of sketchy is either, one, she's just being a little sketchy and selfish and weird intentionally, or two, she could just be a really bad communicator and just like both have selfishness in common.
Right.
Like, so she's either kind of selfish and a bad communicator, or she's sketchy and a bad communicator.
Like, I, for one, have a hard time like with the selfish part. Like that, I just, for some reason, I just like can't get over that. So like, if I know that, if I learn that about somebody and we're like friends or becoming friends or whatever, that is something that I would have to work to get over.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, can be a very, very bad communicator, and I know that that's like a deal breaker for a lot of people. So like, you just have to decide, you know, what is her reasoning, like what's her deal really, and like, is it something that you can accept or not? So I kind of wrote down questions that I'm like, you have to answer these questions for yourself. Like, like is omitting truths, like is omitting truths and withholding information, like, is that being disloyal or dishonest?
That's a tough one. With this, and I'm kind of a person sometimes where sometimes I tell everybody my life and my info and my next step in life left and right, as you know. I'll tell too many. But then again, like sometimes I don't know if it's the Italian in me. It's a very Italian thing to like keep things close to the chest. Like, don't let anybody know your next move until you've done it already, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Which I do that sometimes, just solely to like not jinx it. And
Okay, yeah.
But in this situation, I think it is a little sketchy. Like, it is weird that they're all sharing, like, and there's a special bond that women coworkers have together. You can either choose to embrace that bond and really help and lift each other up,
But turning your back on it is,
or
like,
you can be a little
really-
shit and selfish.
Is,
and it's almost like worse when you're a coworker. Like, if I were the girl in this situation, I don't know why she's like the girl pointed out here. I don't know why she's not just like giving her a heads up, or like, or even I would have more respect for this girl she's referring to if she would have just come to her and been like, look, Lisa, whatever your name is, listen, like I know you mentioned this job. As you know, our industry's tough. Job market's a bitch out there right now. It's really tough to get a job. I hope you don't mind, but I kind of want to go for it too. And whoever gets it, like that still sucks. It's like, okay, well, I saw it first. Like, can you just let me have this? Back the fuck off. But at the same time, at least I'd have more respect if she gives a heads up.
It also brings me to my next thought, which like her not doing that kind of like lets me, the girl not approaching it in that way, is like letting me know the answer to this. But like my next thought was like, is there a difference between doing what's best for you and then only being out for yourself? And I feel like in the option you gave where she like approached the girl and was like, hear it from me. And I have had this with friends too, where I'm like we like troubleshoot with each other. We're like, no, it's totally better. Even if what that person is doing like doesn't make sense to you, it's way better and way more respectful for like you to hear it from them, even if it doesn't make the truth any less sucky. Yeah. You know what I mean? Than like for them to just do it behind your backs anyways. Yeah. But like the difference isn't that like it hurts your feelings less. It's just that it hurts them in a different way. Like one is like, this sucks. but they're doing what's best for themselves. And then in the situation where the girl like literally just
doesn't,
because she just asked for help she asked the girl how she filled out her application so that she could fill it out the same way.
Yeah.
Implying that she feels like the other girl is better and a better applicant than her.
Yeah.
Like she needed the girl's help to apply for the job.
She literally stole your
which means if she
property.
if she gets the job, she got it with the girl's help who was also going after the job.
Yeah, that's not right.
But then like refuses to help them on other jobs. Like that doesn't add up for me. And so like to not even approach the conversation like, do you mind? I'm also going to apply for this. That to me is a line of like, no, you're actually just out for yourself.
Yeah. That you're intentionally harnessing my brain power and information to better yourself and leave me
like
in the
I
dust.
almost helped you get the job over me.
That's messed up. That's plagiarism.
But like what's going on and what's clicking in the girl's brain also that she like thinks that that's okay?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I were that girl, I would, first of all, I don't know what industry this is that there's like not a lot of like.
I know, I was wondering that too.
But I will say, I heard from my Gen Z social girl today who I was working with. She was like, the job market out there right now is so bad.
Oh, it's so bad. I was just talking about this with John because we both have siblings graduating, and
none of them
were like,
have
we just
jobs.
feel really bad for them because they can't even get internships right now.
No, my girl, I go, you're the most qualified person I'd hire. If I could, I'd hire you full time in a second.
Yeah.
What she goes, yeah, I applied for an internship. It's not even. I was like, my God.
Our siblings can't get any internships. They have gone through rounds and rounds and rounds of so many internships and can't even get summer jobs. Like, it's really bad.
I wonder why.
And they're like way more qualified than I was at that age.
Yeah. Oh
Way
my God.
more.
No, we used to always look back at when I worked at Betches, the new hires like decks that they had to do were so good. And then mine, we pulled mine up one day from 2017.
Was it
2019? It was so bad. I literally go, who hired me and how and why? It was so bad.
I mean, millennials know how to ace an interview.
Yeah,
I will
think
say that.
I think it's interpersonal.
Because like,
yeah, no,
I will say that.
I was like, based on this, no.
Yeah.
But so, that's okay. Yeah, I would if this girl needs to like the one that's being shady and sketchy.
Yeah.
Like if you really need to be every man for themselves kind of thing, best for you, I get that. Still sucks. Like if you can avoid being like that, do it. But if you have to be like that, just be like, listen, be open and honest, and be like,
Explain
listen,
why. Like, be
if
like,
I'm
pregnant.
Yeah, or
Like I
I'm
need to get a job now.
Yeah, or just like, or literally be like, okay, I hope you don't hate me, but I'm gonna slim pickings out there. I'm gonna go for the job too. I wish you the best of luck. I wish myself the best of luck. If I do happen to get this and you don't, I will
help bend over backwards.
I'll put in an extra word for you.
Yeah, the girl's not being kind about it. And that's where I just feel like I've already made up my mind about her. Like, she's a coworker. I get it. You guys have become close. It's been 1 to 2 years. I'm not saying that's not a lot of time because, like, I've gotten really close with people in that amount of time too. But, like, you know each other within the scope of work. Mm-hmm. And, like, soon you guys won't be coworkers anymore. And some of these women you're going to want to maintain relationships with. Yeah. But if this is how she approaches, like how she values your relationship and your well-being, and honestly how she even respects you guys,
then you don't want her.
Do you really want to bring that relationship outside of the office and carry it on?
No.
Because she is showing you who she is in this moment. Even if it's like, I thought of a million factors that would justify this, but none of them justify the way that she handled it.
Yeah.
And like, that's what it always comes back to for me, which is like, you are actually allowed to do whatever you want to do. It does not give you license to be a dickhead when doing it, though.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't. And people that cannot identify that, to me, it's not that they don't know it. It's that they're actually using having a past to do what they want as, like, an excuse to be mean. Mm-hmm. Like, that's almost like, I don't know. Like, they're doing it in order to be mean. Like, they're getting it out of their system and they're kind of enjoying it. Because other people that do what they want and they identify how it affects others, they like approach it delicately and kindly and like with love and respect.
Also, I agree with everything well said. One thing that, this might be controversial, whatever. One thing that kind of pisses me off is a friend that doesn't reciprocate info, which is that's happening. That's her. But not even in a work scenario, like take it out and put it in life. Like if you ask me about my future and I'm telling you about planning a family and stuff like that, and you don't like share back that or not even about that, about anything, like about relationships.
No, that was a good example,
about like
though.
anything, and then all of a sudden I find out, like, I'm like, we're good friends. I gave you my tea. Can you give me yours? Like, I have had friends like that just keep things so close to the chest. And I get it. You don't have to wear every detail on your sleeve like I do sometimes. But at the same time, it's like, reciprocate the tea. You know?
It's not even tea. It's like, if you don't want to share, don't ask other people.
Yes.
Because like, unless someone's volunteering it for you, don't ask. Because I feel like that is low-key disrespectful. Like, you feel like your information and thoughts and moves, or whatever you want to call them, are more valuable than the other person's.
Yeah. I have a friend who does that.
That's like annoying. But I'm just that's what she's doing, though.
She'll literally like get tea out of me.
She's taking way more than she's giving. And I feel like it's a little maniacal.
Well, and then after, you always know when you have a friend like that, because after, you almost feel like, oh my God, I said too much. Too much.
You don't know. Yeah.
But you're like, I got nothing on you. You got everything.
It's like, it's so bad. But you're like, there's like no like, it's like there's no skin in the game for them.
No.
If they wanted to ruin you tomorrow,
easily,
they could.
Easily.
And it's not that hopefully they don't want to, but it kind of makes you feel like they do, because why else would they be so, like, why would they gatekeep their information so hard just to spend all of their energy getting information out of you? It's like, I don't know if I feel like that's for friendship purposes, because if it were for friendship purposes and this were a safe space, then i.e. you would feel safe to share your stuff with me.
Right.
You don't. So it kind of makes me wonder why you need my information so badly.
Yeah. It's almost like, what are you planning to do with that info? And I love other people's drama as much as the next person, and I love hearing about it. I love hearing the tea.
Yeah.
But I would never just
But this girl like took this girl's info in order to go steal her thing from her. Yeah. Like that's what it is. Like that's the vibe.
Yeah.
Like, she went and got what she wanted, which was this girl's information, and then she used it.
Yeah.
And leveraged it.
If I were this girl writing in, I wouldn't, don't say any, I mean, you can if you want, say something, but I would that's the kind of person you gotta watch out for, and I would kind of just, like, peel back and stop telling her.
Yeah, I know people like this, too, and I just think that, honestly, where there's smoke, there's fire in this situation. Like, she's gonna continue to act like that in a bunch of, like, different scenarios.
Yeah.
And I don't think you have anything to lose from maybe just removing her from your conversations. And I don't mean, again, you're allowed to do whatever you want to do. So if that's what you want to do and remove her from your conversations, do that. But do not do it in a mean way. Like, you also have control over doing that respectfully. Like, if the other girls want to talk about it, like, honestly, just be honest. And I think there's a difference between like talking crap and then being honest, because you don't ever want to look at these other girls and be like, well, as long as she's not in the conversation, because that just feels like isolating for no reason. If you looked at them and said, I'm gonna be honest, you guys, like, I totally want to chat about this, and like,
here's why I'm weird about so and so.
But I'm having apprehensions about bringing her into the conversation, at least for what I'm finding in the job market right now, just because of, what happened last time. Yeah. And like,
there is, last thing about my last big thought about, there is one thing about, okay, I think this girl's being intentionally shady, but like in the beginning when I said like, could just be a really shitty communicator, I can relate in some aspects because, and I feel like you can too.
No, I'm terrible.
Sometimes there are moments where somebody could just be moving a mile a minute and really bogged down with life things, work, etc. And just like bad at updating you on stuff. Now in this situation, she's literally gunning for the same position and the same
and
job.
asking for help filling out the application.
Right. So like she should. That's a different. But there are times I've realized this lately where I'm bad at communicating this, like, moves I'm making to my own husband. Like, Mike will be like,
oh, yeah, I do that.
where are you going to? And I'm like, oh, I'm going into the city to film with my new social media girl and then record. And he's like, what? What new? And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. I had talked to and I'm like, you're my own husband. I
get what you're saying because you are moving a mile a minute.
Yeah.
But Mike's not your coworker.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the sense of like some husbands and wives work together. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't, if you and Mike worked together, like I don't think that you would plan content and hire somebody
without him knowing
that was going on, like maybe like your joint page,
right yeah,
that he like
no, he would be looped in, and he is looped in for the most part,
right,
to like
because sometimes you move on a minute and you forget like to fill your spouse in on work stuff, because the way that the like cookie crumbles in that situation is when you're moving a mile a minute with work stuff, it also kind of implies that you're working more, which means you have less time with your spouse, which means the time you do spend with your spouse, you're kind of trying to be intentional to not talk about work,
bog them down,
which then means that you miss telling them stuff that could be important, like aka like a happy hour, or you're doing this, or you talk to a new social media girl, like any of that stuff.
Right. Well, and this is why it sounds cheesy, but I really think a Sunday night meeting is good.
We used to have this on our calendar. It's like it was like a Sunday touch base.
Yeah, I love that. Whenever we've done it, it really works well.
Oh my God.
Especially with like the joint schedules going into the city.
It has to be scheduling. John at one point labeled it weekly family budget meeting. And I fought for my life avoiding that meeting.
I'm busy.
I would be like, do you want to do this Sunday? Like, oh my God, we have plans. Oh, we have to go grocery shopping. No. Like, I'm going to need to take a nap. Like, that. Eventually, I just woke up one day and deleted it from the calendar. Like, don't do that.
Eliminate. Don't call it a budget
There's
meeting.
one way to make a girl run for the hills.
Don't use the B word on me.
No, please don't.
Don't.
Not on a Sunday. Sunday is a day of rest. Might I remind you?
Yeah. A scheduling meeting is really helpful because then you avoid the days where you're both like, oh, we're both heading into the office. Who's going to take care of the dog today? Like, yeah.
We started doing that on our morning walks, like to the bike station, which John texted me today and he was like, because he was in a grumpy mood this morning walking to the bikes.
God, let him be a grumpy mood.
I know. Yeah, but okay. And then he texted me later and he was like, I'm sorry that I was grumpy this morning, even though he actually wasn't that grumpy. He just wasn't responding to me. So I was like, are you okay? And he was like, I'm in work mode. Like, da-da-da-da. And he was actually just upset because he couldn't find an electric bike. He can't fool me. But
he needs his own electric bike.
So he was like, I'm grumpy. I'm working on it. I am working on it. I'm just letting you know. I'm like, okay, thank you. But I like the walks to the bike station because that's how I find out.
It's a nice little meeting.
That's the meeting.
Wait, also, as it relates to work and being in a married relationship, a healthy one. Yeah. One pro tip. Yesterday, as I was editing yesterday's episode by the pool, which pro tip, by the way, like get an apartment with a pool.
Okay. Don't laugh at me like that. No. That's so actually cruel because you know that it was the one thing that I loved the most about my life.
No,
and then
I'm
lost.
Laughing at myself for being like,
that was a witch laugh.
Like somebody needs to come for me for that.
Look at the camera and do that again because that.
No, I'm laughing at myself. And
Nicole's witch just came.
No, I'm just laughing at myself because whose pro tip in life is get a pool? Like that, I made a video about that rich friend. You know, the rich friend that's like, oh, you're stressed out, just travel. Like it's like, no shit, get a pool, no shit, get a travel. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm tipsy from that one.
Thanks, Karen.
Yeah. No. So
don't worry. I'll keep it in mind.
Working by the pool.
I'll trade in my naked man for a pool next time.
Well, you're welcome anytime.
Yeah.
Hoboken, again, I'm like the spokesperson for Hoboken because there's pools.
Wait, so what is your tip from watching this episode?
Okay, so I met this couple. It was me and them, only people there. It was lovely. They were so nice, this cute little married couple. This was on a Monday in the middle of the day. I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they were like, oh, we actually both just like picked this day and decided to take off work together at the same day. We hiked with our puppy in the morning and now we're at the pool. Shout out Nicole and Jeff. Her name was Nicole. I told them about the podcast and I was like, I'm going to bring this up because that's the cutest married couple
and
thing.
Jeff.
I know.
You've got it figured out.
Well, and I was like, that's Mike and I, in all of our years of working for companies together, or separately, but as
no, I know what you mean.
Have never thought to just do a staycation take off day together.
literally never thought that.
Right?
In all the years that John and I were both in corporate, I've never thought that. And then in all the years that I haven't even been in corporate, like, I
take off and
still,
let's do
it's
a nice...
never been like, there's always a reason.
That's the thing. It's like, if, like, Mike's
There's
taking
something
off
to
this
do.
Friday because we have to drive to a wedding and we have to film something in the morning. So he's like, I'll just take, but it's because we have shit to do, not because we want to spend the day together.
Right. They must be so in love.
It was so cute.
Oh my God, that's
really great. And they both have
great.
important jobs that, like, they work hard on. Like,
but like they're not doing nothing, but like they're just like, they have no obligations together. And like, that's the thing, is like, not even on like a Sunday is that going to be reality for you.
Like, it's almost more special that they're doing. It's
even if you work for yourself. Like, John has holidays off, and I'm like, I feel so bad because I'm like, I really should. We have to hang out because you never get time off.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not thinking about it, and I'm like, this is gonna put me behind.
Yeah.
Well, like, when I just choose not to do anything for work today, it's really gonna screw me for the rest of the week. If I had just decided to do that at the same time.
You know what it's giving the same energy as, which is giving me the chills, because I know you're gonna want to be this type of mom, and so am I.
Tell me. Oh
when
my
your
God,
mom was little and you once in a blue moon would be like, you know what, kids, take the day off. We're doing hooky today from school, and we're going somewhere fun, and we're going to Disney.
It's what my mom used to pick me up from school in high school.
Yeah.
She would check me out and take me to eat lunch with her at like a good restaurant.
I love that.
And then bring me back because I had focus, which is like basically like a homeroom in the middle of the day, like focus group right after lunch. So like,
it's giving that
she would take me like long lunch, mommy, daughter, and drop me back off at school. And they'd be like, any note? And she'd be like, no.
That's a cute marriage tip though too, like, kids aside, before we get to that point, or if there's some listeners out there who might not want kids. If so, sorry, because we bring them up on every fucking episode. But that's a good tip for relationships too. It doesn't even have to be a whole day. Like, go
a lunch.
Swing by lunch, do a lunch together.
Sometimes I think that's, and it's honestly probably a lot more attainable. Like, I guess I could sometimes say to John, like, you have to like pick a day where you can leave work at 5.
Yeah.
And we can go, like, because when that happens, like, we get all this time together to, like, go to a happy hour and, like,
also,
go to dinner and be home.
Not for nothing, seeing your significant other in their working environment
it's
a hot turn on.
No, I love going to lunch with John. Like, while he's at work, like, I'll go down there. Mm-hmm. He hates it. Like, he cannot switch out from, like, work mindset to, like, I'm having lunch with my wife to back to work. But here's the thing, and this is why I'm just a Virgo and so tough, and that's as is life. I'm like, get better at it.
Get better.
And he has, and I don't mean that in a mean way. I just really mean, like, listen, this is a privilege that we have right now. Mm-hmm. We won't always have that privilege. I go down there and I see all these husbands meeting their wives and their little babies to see their babies in the middle of the day. Cute. And I'm like, that makes my heart literally melt. And you know what? I know one day you're going to want to see your kids in the middle of the day. Yeah. And God forbid, you just never learned how to, like, pop out of your work stress. No, to be able to, like, do something. Like, every now and then you have time to go for a long lunch.
Yeah.
Do it. Like, learn to be okay with those things. Like, get comfortable with it when it's appropriate, when it works, and then be in the moment. Like, learn how to get present with that.
I saw a TikTok. Story of my life.
I read something.
That was literally, like, the secret to happiness is being present in the moment of every single moment, whether you're washing the dishes, whether you're having lunch with your wife in the middle of the workday, whether you're nursing your baby. I don't care. Being present in that moment is the secret to life. So tell John that.
I'm going to. We talk about that a lot.
Also, like, Mike works primarily from home, but, like, chooses when to go in. I'm going to, like, force him to go in more just so I can come into the city and pull him out of the office.
Also, huge New York City privilege. Huge.
Yeah.
Like, you have all of these incredible restaurants that you can walk to from your office.
Also,
like, I mean, it's just like, that is, take advantage of where you live.
Want to know an ultimate way to bond with your husband or a coworker? This will bring you and your coworkers together. Skipping out for lunch in the middle of the workday and having an alcoholic beverage.
No. love that.
Yeah.
I used to do that every Friday with my work mom.
Yeah. It's the best. Don't tell the boss. No. Or if it is with your boss, even better.
Yeah, if it's with your boss, that's great.
Yeah, then they're cool.
But like, honestly, like I love that.
Yeah, just like leave and have the European in you. I remember just like walking to go do that with coworkers and being like, in France, they do this. So why can't we here?
That's true. Okay. I'm going to read our second little brief topic email. Work, but it's with your significant other and their coworkers. So kind of switching the narrative a little bit. This girl wrote to us, and this is not the first I've heard of this problem. How to deal with your significant other's friend at work that is of the opposite sex. For example, my boyfriend has a very close friend at his work that is a girl, in parentheses, an attractive girl. And I know they eat lunch together every day, sometimes in a group, but most times just the two of them. And she will call or text him after work about personal things. I've been out with them, and she is a very flirty girl with not only my boyfriend, but other guys around. I've had an open conversation that it makes me uncomfortable, and I'm trying to set boundaries, but would love your input or thoughts on it.
Oh, hell no.
I have something that like actually works.
What?
Your boyfriend or your guy or fiance, whatever. Guys don't understand. They don't naturally understand like girl versus guy's girl.
Yeah.
When they understand what a guy's girl is. Because if you trust your boyfriend, okay, fine. But obviously a learning curve for even as women that like are like love other women, like some women are not out for your best interest.
I need guys, girls to just stop.
Right. And so when you identify that, okay, then you explain to them what a guy's girl really is, right? In the way that is, this girl wants to hook up with you, or would if she had the opportunity. She thinks that you are so manipulatable and gullible that she could basically get you close enough to where you felt like you had a close relationship with her and that you would like do something like out of line. Like you have to paint what a guy's girl is in the same view as how a girl views a guy's girl, so that they understand how like honestly gross it is. So like make the girl unattractive to the guy.
Yes.
Like her personality.
Okay.
So like when they realize what she really has going on, that girl, even if she's an attractive girl, like even from a friend level, they become so unattracted to that personality.
Right. I love that.
Like, honestly, like there's just no way, because you don't have to be worried about her. Like
you've got to be dealing with a smart guy to get them to see this.
Emotionally, they have to have a high emotional intelligence. Yes. Like they have to have a high EQ.
Dumb ones will be like, dude, you're thinking too much into it.
Right.
So, you know what I mean?
But once it's not even, they don't even have to see what you see. But like they have to see it enough to where they view that girl's personality. They have the ick.
Yep.
And it's not that you don't trust them and that you're scared of them or like whatever it is. But like the reality is if they could actually see what that girl is up to, they would be so like, ew, are you serious, bro?
I mean, it's screaming pick me.
Yeah. And I think girls' frustrations in these moments are, it's not that I don't trust my boyfriend. It just stresses me out knowing that she's like making these silent moves and it's making me uncomfortable, even though he's not doing anything that's bad. That like, why do you shouldn't always have to be uncomfortable when this girl is around, because like she's making you uncomfortable on purpose.
Yeah.
In a way that the guy doesn't pick up on.
I wouldn't blame it all on her though either. I mean, he's being annoying. Stop doing the one-on-one lunches.
No, he needs to stop. And that's why I think it's like, he currently doesn't see the harm in it, obviously, because he trusts himself.
And listen, I don't know their work situation. Sure, could they maybe argue that they work directly with each other on projects and need to talk them through?
Yeah.
Sure. I don't care. Sure, do what you need to do to succeed in your job. However, the one-on-one lunches is crossing the
one-on-one
line.
Lunches need to stop.
And then the flirtiness when they're all out.
That's the thing, is that you know that she's flirty with everybody. So it's just her personality. But like that's also not okay because she doesn't carry like the same work-life personal boundaries that other people carry.
Right.
Where they like don't jeopardize work relationships by trying to make them
right.
like
I could even
sexual
see
or
past
personal.
the one-on-one lunches if the flirtiness wasn't in it.
Right. The flirtiness makes it an issue. And like he is currently getting basically manipulated by this girl.
Yeah.
And the manipulation doesn't necessarily, that doesn't go to mean like that anything will ever happen.
Yeah.
It's just that like her goal is to make him feel like she's his friend so that she wants to spend time with him. And that makes her feel like she has an upper hand on the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Even if she doesn't, her whole point is that like the girlfriend feels that way. And like that's icky. And so like.
Right. And it'd be one thing too if this girl was really trying to befriend the girlfriend.
That's usually my rule. I like, it's not even a rule, but it's like,
it's basic common.
The one thing the boyfriend can do is like bring the girlfriend around more.
Right.
And talk about her more.
Right.
Never, if you're having a fight, never talk about the fight with her. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, limit the outside texting about personal stuff is really annoying considering that the girl is flirty.
Right.
Like it's not like you guys shouldn't be having flirty banter. That's like so past the line.
No, flirty banter. It nix that. I'm hissing.
But like he shouldn't want to be having that banter.
That's where he needs to set boundaries if he's a good partner. What was I gonna say? Oh, it's giving the okay. Did you see the TikTok again? Sorry, this is a TikTok episode. I'm just seeing a lot of good juicy stuff that reminds me. This is the same energy of this girl on TikTok the other day posted, she thought it was such a flex and everybody was like, no, this is like the bride definitely hates you. It was like, you've always been one of the guys, so now you're on the groom's part, you're in the groom's party, you're on the groom's side in the wedding. Mm-mm. And it was this like hot attractive girl wearing a matching dress to all the wearing a hot dress with all the groomsmen. And first of all, there's a lot of issues. If you were
that close with the guys,
get close
I'm
with
so
the
sorry
girl.
for my language. Bitch, you'd be on the girl's side.
That's what I said.
You would be on the girl's side.
I was like, oh, everybody's like, the bride must love you, not, first of all. And second of all.
No, like, you would be so close with that girlfriend, that fiance, that wife, that it's not even funny.
Also, everybody made a good point in the comments. They were like, my future husband or my current husband, like, Mike would never do that to me. Like, no.
But, like, that girl. I think what guys are missing in there, because the guys are all about, if I trust myself and if you trust me, then why does anybody else matter?
Right.
And to that I say, who failed to teach you the lesson of optics?
Optics. Like, exactly.
Are you dense? Like, it is very, very important to make sure that you're respecting your partner at work, at home, in public, with them around, not with them around. And unfortunately, a huge part of that is how our actions reflect what like type of person that we are. Right. The thing is that you're choosing to be naive about a situation because it means that you don't have to deal with the confrontation of the situation, and you're not dealing with the confrontation of the situation really only means one thing. You're saving your embarrassment and putting it all on your partner.
Yeah.
And that makes you selfish.
Yeah.
I am sorry if you don't want to stop having lunch with a girl that has been making extenuous efforts to flirt with you, text you outside of work, etc. But unfortunately, that girl doesn't want to be your friend. She wants to be more than your friend. And if you truly just wanted a friendship with her, that's not what you're getting. And so you should be able to put that to the side.
She might not even like want him necessarily, but out of respect, she flirts with him when they're out.
Right. Like he needs to set the boundary that he's not.
It's not a good look.
It's not a good look. So essentially, this girl that has written in, she's done absolutely nothing wrong. What happens when she goes to a happy hour and there's another girl on the team that's talking to another coworker behind the girlfriend's back who has done absolutely nothing wrong? Oh, poor her. I feel so bad for her. Like, do you think like she knows that they like flirt with each other and do this and everybody talks about it? And meanwhile, that's what's happening. And meanwhile, the boyfriend might not be flirting back with the girl. He might be being nice. But girls like that always take it like grain of salt. Like, literally, the crumble becomes the whole cookie. And so you need to like seriously, like, how much do you respect your partner? Because the one girl knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
And she probably has overheard those conversations, and it makes her feel like she's winning. She feels happy about it, and you're letting it happen.
Non-girls, girls are just pick me, insecure. Life gets so much better when you decide to be a girl's girl.
Also, like
I
this
grew up as a
coworker's
tomboy.
relationship, this lunch with this coworker can't possibly be more important than your girlfriend.
Yeah, no.
Like, honestly.
And
if that
again, like,
coworker is doing this, and
if it is purely work and it is truly, then keep it purely work.
But it's obviously, and it's obviously gone to a point where, like, the girlfriend's uncomfortable. Like, is this girl important enough to cause a rift in your relationship?
No.
Then
the answer
do
is
something
yes,
about it.
then
if the answer is yes, then there was a bigger problem.
Yeah.
But if the answer is no, then you shouldn't have a problem setting boundaries, because no, you didn't do anything wrong, but neither did your girlfriend, and she shouldn't have to pay the consequences for some other girl's actions that she knew exactly what she was doing. He should see her as, like, unattractive, like, even as a friend. Like, he should see her unattractive as a person, as a personality, based on the way she, like, moves.
Guys are so stupid.
I know. I mean,
so it's funny though, because throughout this whole thing, like, Mike works, believe it or not, for DraftKings, but it's a lot of women and, like, great looking girls.
Really?
Yes,
like,
a lot of girls.
Like
but the ones that he hangs out with outside of work are the men. And if he does hang out with the girls, it's always in, like, a larger setting.
Yeah.
Or I know them and I love all of them. And they've made an effort
I
to
love
know
all
me.
of the girls that John works with. And I'm going to even say this, that I think that the boyfriend should think about, because John says this. He's like, even if I said, like, I have the best friendship with or relationship with this person on the team and it happens to be a girl, I would never do anything more than walk to pick up lunch with them, because I'm a man in the workplace and I want to be a good manager, and I want to be trusted, and I want to be viewed as a safe space. And it is my worst nightmare for a girl or a woman to feel like I'm anything other than that.
Yeah.
I would never even, like, want it to be a misconstrued vibe that I could be flirting with a woman, because I just feel like that is such grounds for women to feel unsafe in the workplace.
Yeah, and just icky.
Like, you don't even understand the detriment that you're doing to your own career by, like, engaging in that. I feel like it's just not worth it. And the worst part is that she knows all of this.
Yeah.
Women aren't stupid. The girl knows all of this, and she's still choosing to make those decisions. You are actually being manipulated into this.
Yeah. Something funny that happened the other day that's reminding me. Mike had to take, so he has to take, like, clients now to sports games and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very supportive of. I'm like, do what you gotta do for the money, honey.
Right.
But he would never, and that's because we have a very strong element of trust in our relationship. But it was funny because him and Tobin, his good friend and coworker, who works at DraftKings with him, had to go to a Yankees game with two women. And
oh my gosh.
Clients that work for, like, an
that's
agency.
so interesting.
And me and Nikki were like, oh, a double date.
No,
women.
that's actually what it feels like.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I try. Mike came home.
No,
and was
he doesn't have a choice.
He was like, they were literally 23, and I was like, oh, hot young women.
He, like, thought John loves to do that. He's like, they're like your sister's age.
Yeah,
and I'm like that's not helping.
No, you just told. They're a whole decade younger.
Because, like, guys that aren't creepy don't understand, like, our logic when we're like, right, like, they're like, that's
not better.
Illegal. Yeah. Like, they view that as, like, true crime.
Well, but, like, it's funny because I truly was like, go have fun, like, takes photos, like, don't, and he
take photos.
He, like,
take photos, take photos. So I can see
like,
them.
take cute pics. Yeah. No, and for, like, it was like a bit. I was like, have fun on your double date, and me and Nikki were texting, like, hope the boys are having, but, like, truly, like, that's where it gets comfy. And I know for a fact, like, he's not talking to these girls,
right? But that's because he values optics.
Yeah,
like, obviously you have trust, you have respect, you have boundaries, but also he understands optics. So, like, he's literally going to be so conscious of like how he even like interacts.
So if you guys ever see my husband out at a sports game
with a woman that's not Nikki,
just know that it's
make sure you throw soda in his face.
And know that I'm there like rooting it on, because the more deals he closes.
I think that she needs to implement rules with her boyfriend that like you guys can walk to get lunch together. Please stop like sitting down for lunches together, because I think that her intentions are like not great. I also feel like, you know, just she can keep texting you after work, but like you don't necessarily like have to respond.
She has to do this too.
It does
it's
suck.
disrespectful already that she has to set these boundaries.
It really is. But like honestly, if we marry these people and like we're married, we're signed up for a very long life of a bunch of weird situations. So like it better now than later, like getting on the same page of like what it means to like always be protecting like you and your spouse in like a relationship or in an interaction, so that like they never have to deal with something because of something that's like actually means nothing to you, like or because you were too stupid, because you were a guy that was too stupid to read between the lines, because you couldn't analyze the situation. Like, why have a woman clean up a mess for you because you feel like you're licensed to just like float about life because you're a guy and nothing's that deep?
No,
like it's just not true. It is deep. Think about it.
Be a girl's girl and know that the grass is always greener where you water it. I'm speaking to the men when I say that. Like, water your own grass before flirting with your coworkers.
John always says that to his friends. He's like, the grass also was never greener, by the way.
On the other side, it's greener where you water. Everybody's been saying that lately. Not even just
that it is, or that it isn't.
No, that saying. I've heard it a lot lately.
Yeah.
Maybe the universe is trying to tell me to water my grass.
Maybe the universe is trying to tell you to hop the Hudson and move to Manhattan.
I just had a vision of me physically hopping.
The grass is greener because it's fake.
Oh, physically. Okay, on that note, the grass is on this wall is looking green, and we're about to get kicked out of the studio.
We love you guys. We will see you next Tuesday, which is how have we not thought about that yet? See you next Tuesday.
It's cunty.
We're not supposed to use that word. It's a mean word.
Gen Z loves it.
It's such a mean word.
I'm like gaining a whole collective
Makes you
of
want to
Gen Z
barf.
friends.
Okay, guys. We love you. See you next Tuesday. Stay hot, honey.
Mwah.